Hello and good morning, Centric. Of course, it's not really morning. We're sorry for that. We've been tremendously lazy. Um, and welcome back to yeah. Welcome back to our show. Um, to episode 64, Central and Snow. Before we do jump in here, I will say Stream Check 3 did seem to go well. If you did watch it, you probably do know what this is. Of course, we will be putting something out on our social media. Basically asking, hey, what do you think about it? Do you think we should do a fourth one? Because, hey, I kind of want to do a fourth one. So make sure you look out for that. We don't really have anything else to talk about. Other than that, we don't really have any other announcements other than that. Still don't have any advertisements, unfortunately. But Friday, we do have an episode. I will make sure to plan it. And don't really know what I'm going to do. I hope I know. But, yeah. So, now to just jump right into our topic today, Central and Snow. Now, of course, Monday was a big day for Central. Definitely made a lot of people upset, made a lot of people not, just dreaded the whole day. And of course, it kind of was brought to attention, like, oh, wait, we can do an episode about this because guess what? People don't like it. And about halfway through the day, like, I personally did not like it either. I really wanted the district to say, hey, you have to put people home because there's snow piling up on the roads. And honestly, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Of course, we did put out an update saying, hey, we were wrong about episode 63. We were lucky since we pre-recorded most of our videos, which totally forgot about that. Totally forgot about that label, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Since we pre-record most of our videos, we got lucky because 7 a.m. it wasn't snowing, and then like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. it was like snowing, and it snowed till about I want to say about 1:30. Well, they were saying 1:30. No, it was like 12. Let's say noon. So it snowed until about noon, and we got a lot of snow. We got 4 inches of snow. We got a lot of snow, and today we're almost down to about no snow. It has been increasingly hot. It's been, a lot of the snow is melting. Fortunately, what we said we might just have snow for the rest of the month. It's Wednesday. We still got 4 more days to go, and we're almost out of snow. So we could be proved wrong here. So yeah, but it kind of was brought to our attention that we should talk about Central and the snow. And I originally had a problem with the description because we didn't like it halfway throughout the day, and we're what's going to happen? What's going on? Because honestly, everyone wanted the whole district to just say we can't do this. We got to send everyone home. And of course, our district wasn't the only one. I do believe West Shore. I think that's the one I'm thinking about. They were open to. I bet there are a bunch of other school districts that were open. Now, if you went farther north, maybe you had a lot of school districts that were closed because, from what I was seeing for the forecast and some of the stuff about snowfall and stuff up north, it was a little bit worse than here. So I don't know how it is. I never really checked any other schools, but what I do know for sure is that a lot of people were upset, resulting in posts from Barstool Central York. Great meme they posted. Got shared by almost everyone that I know because, man, if you don't know that, if you didn't just see that was it was hilarious. And of course, it was about the high school administration. It wasn't really the high school administration. They can't really say we can't bring these kids in. It's more the district administration that says we can't bring anyone in because we're gonna have problems. Now, of course, Monday everything did get better. All of the snow went away by about noon to 1:30 ish. I did go out and shovel the snow, so yeah, I know how much there was. Something I will say though, none of the roads got plowed until about at least my road did not get plowed until about 2:30 ish, or it was like 3 o'clock, something around like 2:30 to 3 o'clock, which is long after the high school and middle school was let out. Of course, I did see the middle school bus come around, so they could drive on the road pretty well. Um, I did not see the high school bus, but I'm not totally sure if there's anybody in my neighborhood that goes since I'm remote. So definitely something that I'm not sure about. Um, and honestly, it was just a very irritating day, as Mondays usually are. Now, of course, the thought process behind that was this is just a snow squall. This is just some thing that's going to put a lot of snow down, but then it's all going to melt away. Which essentially that's what it did. I mean, by about 5ish, stuff was already melting in mass amounts. It was a lot, but not totally a lot. Today, I think it was a lot more because um, I think we're at like 50 degrees right now outside, so it's like spring. um, yeah, so definitely a lot more snow, definitely a lot more on the ground than uh, or there's a lot less on the ground than a couple days ago. And I think that was the administration's kind of outlook on it. Of course, they said it was supposed to rain after it was snowing, which I don't believe it ever did. I'm not totally sure because I was finding ice on the road before the snow, so I think it rained before the snow. But I could totally be wrong. Maybe I do remember a drizzle. It wasn't much, but it was like a drizzle after. So we did get some rain at some level, but not what we were expecting. So a lot of people were upset with the district because they did not do this. Now, of course, with the district calling off school, sending everyone home, there's only a certain limit that they can go to school. And we would always talk, if it was ever snowing real bad, years ago, we remember this rule. I can't remember it anymore because we have Zoom now. Zoom has kind of died out the whole snow day, the glories of a snow day, but then have brought back the off day for President's Day. So, and I can't quite remember what that rule is. I think it was you have to go a certain amount of hours, and then you can let go for school and count it as a full day of school because you were in for X amount of hours and you taught the kids something, gave them work to do. I'm not sure what the hour limit is. I don't know if they still have it. That's all I remember it was. Yeah, my dog's barking. I think there was also something. It's like you have to do it before all the lunches are done or after the lunches are done because you can't do like. I always got the rule because like you can't do like A and B lunch and then C and D they don't get a lunch, so it doesn't make sense. So I can't remember if it was like before or after. I think it was usually after lunch. But if they needed to do before, that's what they could do. They could not do it during lunch. Again, I cannot remember what it was. That's what I think it was. And for for the district to be with just a snow squall that only laid about 4 inches and then started melting afterwards, I can kind of see why they didn't do it. And honestly, why would we want to lose another day going in June? June, people. So we're going, said June 4th, June 5th. Why would we want to do that? Because I guarantee you they take a day off of Easter break, which we don't get spring break. It's Easter break. And if you don't celebrate Easter, then it is truly spring break. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know if we have any other like big holidays in spring other than Easter and that break there. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, why take one of those days out from that break, or just take another day on the end of the year when you could just get out? So, yeah. I I did have to go back and change the description because I feel differently about it. Because yes, I was upset with everyone else. Trust me, I was irritated because it's Monday. I didn't want to do schoolwork. I still don't want to do schoolwork today. I don't think anybody wants to do schoolwork ever. So, yeah. But in terms of how we would make that up or how it would be done was a little bit more confusing in my head. So I think that's why they kind of kept it in school. And yeah. And then also with the roads being bad, you'd have to get the buses to the school. And with the roads being bad is kind of the whole key thing because you have to get the buses to the school and then drive home. So if you wait till the roads get clear before the school is done, so 2:30 they were plowing everything, then the buses can come to the school, pick the kids up and drive them home. Versus they can't do it. So, yeah. They did take some precautions, though. I will give them kudos for that. They took some precaution about Block 3-ish, so I want to say about 12:30-ish. They did take some precautions saying that anyone who was leaving at that time, who would usually drive home, to please go to the I don't know if the buses if they do that thing or not, but people who would travel home after 12:30, they asked them to come to the cafeteria where they could wait until weather conditions kind of cleared up and they could actually go and be safe. So definitely better than what everyone else was thinking. I don't know how long they were there for. I don't know anyone in that group. So yeah, Central and snow. It's not the first time stuff like this has happened. There have been times where okay, everything's fine, and then it turns for the worse. There have been times where we think we're not going to school because guess what? There's 5-6 inches on the ground, and we go to school because they did a good job. There was one year where it wasn't really a good job, but they called it one. So Central and snow. Will we have more? I don't know. This is kind of like a once in a year thing. They usually have like a once in a year thing, like where you're like, wait, shouldn't they do the opposite? So, they've been relatively decent on their play calling, so to speak. I don't know what else to call it for snow. So like if we're gonna get 2 snowstorms on top of each other, like 2 days apart, they're gonna close the school for the days it's gonna snow ahead of time, or they're gonna call a 2-hour delay. So it's smart because they're not waiting to see the weather versus like, okay, we know what's coming, we know it's gonna happen. If the snow would have gone later and they were calling for it to go into 5 o'clock, then I think the school district would have called a 2-hour delay to wait to see how bad it was and then closed. But because it was ending during the school day and starting before it even, and the school started even before, the snow came, I think they thought, hey, we can do this. And they did do it. So just kind of shedding some light on what they're saying. I honestly still think they should have closed, but I can't really. I mean, that's just my opinion. You can have whatever opinion you want of it. Trust me, a lot of people wanted it to close. A lot of people did not want to do schoolwork. I still don't want to do schoolwork. I bet nobody wants to do schoolwork. And with that, that's kind of my last my last comment. So of course, I think this is it of our snow episodes. Hopefully, Friday we will have a better episode that's completely different. I'm not saying what it is because I have to think of what it is. I have 2 options in my head, and I have to figure them out. So have a great day, have a great whatever, and we will be back.